hold in my hand the devil's triangle. No. Welcome to today's video. Today is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about, I want to say conspiracy theories, because a lot of this stuff is true. I'm going to talk about holidays, why we celebrate them, and my final opinion on them. Okay, so let's just jump right in. Holidays. I'm gonna try to go through the year and explain. We're gonna start in January, of course. January, February. Okay, we're gonna stop at the first one and the one that I hate the most. Not because I think it's evil or from an occult or some other religion, but we arrive at Valentine's Day. The only reason I don't celebrate Valentine's Day is because I think it's very unromantic and stupid. Valentine's Day was from Constantine, the Catholic Church, blah blah blah. That's where it stems from, but everybody nowadays, it's, hey honey, I love you because it's Valentine's Day, so let me fatten you up a little bit with some candy and let's go out eat and let's go have sex or something, you know, like it's love and all that. And when I get married, like, don't expect anything on Valentine's Day from me, because I might do it the day before, the day after, but I don't like being told exactly what day I have to do something. Like, I will tell my wife that I love her 365 the entire year. Don't tell me that I can only do it on one day. Anyways, moving on. So, from February, we go to April, and that is Easter. And now this is a little bit different for everybody. I am a Christian. I am a Jesus follower, Jesus freak, however you want to word that. I don't really like labels. I don't like the label Christianity because a lot of people have this marked up that thing, but that's another video. Anyways, I'm Christian, and so Easter for me is when Jesus Christ rose again on the third day after dying for the entire world's sins. He rose again on the third day at the empty tomb, and that's what Easter is. You can go back and there's like the whole thing from Friday where he's coming in, and then, you know, he gets crucified, and then he rose on the third day, and that's super awesome. And so that's Easter for us. For me, it stemmed from the occult and other religions, and it's from the fertility god Estra, I think it's Estra, and she was a fertility goddess, so it's talking about new life and sex and stuff like that. Didn't we just come off with one that was just all about that? But anyways, it's full of, nowadays it's candy and eggs and bunnies, and which is also messed up. Like, since when does a bunny poop out eggs? Like, it's a mammal. Like, it has live birth. But nobody cares. They throw that logic out because this is what we've been told for the whole entirety of humanity. Or at least when it stemmed back. Anyways, moving on. July comes, 4th of July, and I am a big supporter of that. That's not a world thing. That is just the United States. 4th of July is an amazing, amazing holiday that we can remember being independent and rising above the enemy, and just, it's amazing. That's one of the ones I actually really love, and not just because I get to blow things up and it's not illegal for one night, but that one's just a United States thing. I love that one. I have no issues with that one. And we're into October. This one's a very touchy one. We come into what they call the holiday season, and it starts off with Halloween. Halloween is primarily scary. It's, you know, a time of scaring people and dressing up, not being who you want to be. And I know, again, it stems from the occult, and there's things that go on during this time that I'm not a fan of, I do not recommend. So this one's a little bit touchy for some people. Like, let's not call it Halloween, let's call it Harvest Fest, but do exactly what they all do in the secular world, but we're gonna call it something different and have it in the church. It's totally different. I just laugh at some of those, like, mindsets. Like, we could bob for apples even though it's not actually like scalding oil where a kid has to like bob for apples, and if you get an apple you won't get sacrificed to the devil. No, it's not that. It's just the same thing. It looks exactly the same, except the water's not hot, it's not oil. You use apples, and when you bite into the apple and you get it out, you get a prize instead of you getting to go free and not being sacrificed to the devil. That is my soapbox, and I'm stepping down. I celebrate Halloween that time. I don't celebrate Halloween as what everybody thinks of it. I like it because you can dress up and go out with friends, and you can just be someone who you're not. It's the one night that you can act stupid, or dress the way you want to, or dress something weird or opposite of who you are, and everybody accepts it because it's Halloween and that's what you do. Plus, there's candy. You see a connection here? I think the conspiracy theory about all these is the big corporate America and the world just wants us to buy things every so often. But we're gonna move on. So we're not gonna move very far. We're going into November, which everybody skips. Again, big corporate, you know. And the next one is Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving, I love Thanksgiving. Again, it's full of food, and actually this one doesn't have candy. I found one that doesn't have candy! But it's full of food and family and being thankful and reflecting on things you're thankful up into that part of the year. And I love it. And I love everything about it. It goes now, that one stems back to history. I think everything stems back to history, but if you read in the history books about the Pilgrims coming over and blah blah blah, and there's different theories about that. So we're just going to skip right over that, but that's where Thanksgiving comes from. We're going to skip ahead the very next day, which is a very, very young holiday. It's called Black Friday. So after we just been thankful for all what we have and we're content, we're going to go maul people and like beat them up for an iPad that's like 70% off. Where's the logic in that? Again, big corporate. It's a young holiday, let's just call it that way. You don't get off of work. Actually, you usually have to work that day. Skip ahead to the very next month, the end of the next month, and that is my favorite time of the year. They'll be dancing and singing this Christmas. And that is Christmas. I love Christmas. I love everything about Christmas. And when I started reading about all this stuff about, oh, Christmas is bad, and this is why, and this is where it came from, and here's this, and here's that, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, okay, so this is where it came from. But I was thinking, I don't care where it came from. Like, that's not how it is now. And it's all about how you interpret it, if I can say that. Like, when I celebrate Christmas, it's because of Christ's birth. Yes, we all know that Christ was not born on December 25th. Actually, real quick, December 25th was from Constantine. He had two religions. He wanted to mix them into one. He's like, hey, let's have the heathens and the Christians celebrate the same day. And you celebrate what you want, you celebrate what you want. Let's just do it on the same day. Thank you, Catholic Church. Put that pin in there. Leave it there. Now, I celebrate Christmas because it's the time of year that we reflect. And somebody was like, well, I don't have to just remember Christ's birth on the 25th. Like, that's why I don't do it on the 25th. Well, that's just the time that we remember. He didn't do it on the 25th. It was, if you do all the facts and do the history and you do all that, it's somewhere in the beginning of the end of fall. But anyways, I reflect on Jesus' birth. It's a good opening for like talking about Jesus' birth and what he did. And I love Christmas, the lights. I love lights, and there's also theories about that too. Like, you put lights outside, it's saying that it's supposed to be like a candle in the window, and it like notifies the winter goddess that you accept her or something like that. And no, that's not why I decorate. Sorry. Like, maybe that's why they did, but that's not me. I don't decorate my house for some winter goddess. I'm decorating my house because it's Jesus' birth and it's Christmas time, and I like the lights. It makes my house look good. Okay? Like, I'm not doing it for some goddess. And then now there is the fact about a Christmas tree. I have read it in the Bible. It generally, paraphrasing, it says like, don't go out and cut down a tree, bring it into the house, decorate it with silver and gold, as the heathens do. And when I read that, it's like, wow, they're like, before Christmas began, they were doing this. I'm still not too hot on a Christmas tree. That's just my preference. But everything else. So to wrap this up, I know this video is getting very long. Holidays. I love holidays. It helps us break up the year. And let's not get too bogged down with where they came from. And because if we think about everything, we live in a broken world since Adam and Eve sinned. Okay? So everything since then has a motive and has a background. That's not good. Okay? So if we took and why are we picking on just the holidays or certain holidays or all of the holidays when our calendar is stemmed from other religions and other gods? I mean, Monday is the moon god and Sunday is the sun god, and like, but I don't do that. Okay? That's not what we do now. Like, I don't care what happened back then. This is what we do now. Okay? And it's all about your heart. If you were like, hey, I celebrate Christmas because of the goddess and stuff, that's how you celebrate it. That's not how I'm celebrating it. My final opinion is, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to mock or down anybody's beliefs, because that's just not cool. I believe this, and even when it comes to salvation and stuff like that, I believe in Jesus Christ. He came and died for the whole world and rose again, and you can only go to heaven through his blood and awesome stuff like that. I am a Christian. But if you don't believe that, then that's your choice. And that's the awesome part. You get to choose what you want to believe. And I believe we should just, on a little sidetrack before I end it, how I approach things is, I'm not going to be like, if I see something out there, I'm not going to walk up to someone and be like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm right, because I'm not right. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. My religion's right, my God's right, and you suck. Like, to put it in layman's terms. But if someone generally asks me what I believe, or they see something in me that's different and they ask why, I have no problem of sharing what I found, my peace and my hope, and that is Jesus Christ. I have no problem sharing that with you. But I'm not just going to just blurt it out to someone like, hey, I believe in Jesus, and if you don't believe in Jesus too, you're going to hell. Like, that might be true. That's what I believe. That's what my Bible says. That's what the Bible says. It's not my Bible. That's what God's Word says. But I'm not going to just be like, because belittling people and bullying people and pointing out just their faults is not going to save them. It's not. So, I don't know. In my ending statement, you see it. Oh, not on this one. It's the first half of this. It is spread love, and for me, it's His love, and not hate. And then when life gets blurry in your own life, adjust your focus, because we all get out of focus sometimes. Even Peter, when he tried to walk out on water, and he saw Jesus, he's like, come on, just walk. He started out fine. And then he saw the waves of the world, and, well, waves in that sense, and he started to sink. If we put it in a spiritual sense, in today's sense, we're like, yes, I love Jesus, and I'm going to walk out, I'm going to do everything I want, and like, for Him, and you step out, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I have so many bills, and this comes in, and the devil puts this on you, and he reminds you of what you struggled with, and he points out all your faults and failures, and then you start to sink, because you're worried about what's all around you, and not focusing on Jesus Christ. So, I've already said it, but that's the holidays, that's what I believe. I wanted to get that out there. I didn't want to put this out there, that's why it's so late during the holidays, because I was still praying about it, I was still thinking about it, and finding where I stand. Because you're supposed to work out our faith to a degree, our own faith, and this is where I stand, this is what I believe, and if you don't, and you know me, we could still be friends. That's what makes the world go around. So I choose to celebrate holidays, and different meanings from where they stemmed from. But I will not mock or look down on anybody who sees differently. I said it before. Spread love, not hate, and when life gets blurry, adjust your focus. Peace.